Season 1 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube, /WGLNA. As always, if you're not watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check that one out. And also follow us on Twitter, @WGLNA, so you guys can stay up to date what's happening in the community around you.
Check out the question of the day while you're there, which is, which remaining match are you most looking forward to? I answered High Voltage versus Elevate, but this one is also one of the ones I've been looking forward to for a while now.
All right, and that one is going to be Noble versus Simp. The face-off is ready. On the side of Noble, we've got Comps. On the side of Simp, we've got Laps. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. Oh, my God.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? Comps, gonna go ahead and start. Gonna start with you, sir. Now, you started. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge here. Let's just everyone just kind of block that side out for now. Comps, we see that you guys dropped Fiction and picked up Marsh. What can you guys explain to us about that?
Well, Friction had commitments elsewhere, so he wasn't able to make it, and Marsh was available, so we decided to pick him up.
All right, simple enough. Yeah.
All right, so Comps, you struggled on Tuesday, and now you're heading into arguably the most important battle left in your season. Are you nervous?
Nervous? No. The throws we had on Tuesday were for specifically for Dodoma and Akulav to farm fantasy points.
Oh, okay. So
That was pretty much it.
Master plan.
Yeah. No, we just we ran ult strats and we got caught on them. I mean, they hard meta and worked.
That's,
all right.
That's fairly accurate assessment. So let's
But
go
as for today, we're good.
Good.
All right.
Can't wait to see it. Now, I feel like someone might want some attention here. So, Laps, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to you.
Thank you for talking.
Hey, man. No problem. So I'll ask you a simple question because it seems you're kind of preoccupied. How do you guys feel like you're melding as a team?
Well, it's a lot easier when I remember my selfie stick, but generally speaking, like the team has a lot of strengths about melding, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that platooning is what you should do when you're listening to Rebecca Black, because it's Friday.
Oh,
It's Thursday, Labs.
yeah, it's Thursday.
All right.
It might be Friday somewhere.
We're going to get this over quicker.
Go.
Wow. How do you feel about your finals chances at this point, Laps? Do you feel
I
as
gotta
good
say-
about that as you do about yourself?
Oh, that hashtag or you, that's getting me buff. So buff when hashtag or you loses. I mean, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Shots fired.
All right. Well, that was something that was definitely helping, very close and kind of easy wounds for hashtag. Are you there? Comps, do you have anything to say to Laps before we get started?
Don't pull a muscle.
Great. Good advice.
Good luck.
Bro, do you even lift, bro?
Laps,
Bro?
your response.
Brodus and I know how to work out. Bro, do you even lift?
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the battle. Best of luck to both of you.
All right.
Bye. Bye, Lap. Okay, goodbye now.
We probably just lost like 600 viewers.
That-
I honestly don't know. I might have nightmares about
gained,
that for the
or
next
we gained
3 months.
200.
If we had an HR department, it would be full of emails.
I don't know if that was on the front page of Twitch. I'm pretty sure that would get by far be the top channel if you just saw it. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Let's start getting back to the match at hand. Pulling up the rosters here for both of the sides. As we said, Friction was dropped by Noble. They picked up Marsh. David, do you know of Marsh? Do you know of any of his play strats or Friction? Kind of speaking out what might happen there.
I've seen Marsh play in the past. The only thing that really stands out to me overall was I once saw him snapshot with a 1390 from like 600 meters and hit somebody. Hands down, probably the most impossible shot I've ever seen in my life, and it was auto aim too. But whatever, that's literally the only thing that clearly stands out in my mind for just because it was a couple seasons ago. But I remember him being a fairly good player. I don't know if he can help out as much as Friction could have, but Friction was very busy. He told me he has work.
Okay.
So there's his other obligations. No changes for Simp. but this is a match of two teams that play very similarly overall.
Okay.
We'll see what kind of tricks they have because, like Comp said, they ran the same thing on Himmelsdorf. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, to see neither of these teams play Himmelsdorf because I wonder, considering how they've been playing it, I wonder if they actually are comfortable playing it any other way. So
okay.
perhaps we'd see them play maps that they may or may not have shown in the past, so they can break out strategies that they haven't used yet.
Sure.
And yeah, so far largely 1 to 2 strats per map on both of these teams, and this is the match for them to break out the new stuff because both of them will counter strat the other one if given the chance. No doubt about it.
Sure. I mean, if you're going against someone you play with similar strategies, then yeah, you do have that. You run that risk of then, well, they know exactly what to counter us with. So going into that, the question for me on my mind is, how quickly can you come up with a plan that you don't normally run? Let's say they do decide to play Himmelsdorf. Is it a lot of pressure to come up with, to kind of break what you're used to break your habits?
Himmelsdorf is a weird example because you kind of can't just improv that one.
Really?
It's too many corners, too much stuff, too many considerations, too many variables.
Okay.
Have to plan that one. Mines, however, you can freestyle mines. And I believe that's what they're going to be starting out with.
You're right.
No time at all, honestly. So you know the map pretty well. It's just a matter of clicking on the map icons and telling your teammates where to go and what to do.
Let's see if they can do just that, ladies and gentlemen. Our fourth and final match of the night, Noble versus Simp on to Mines. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
So for Noble, we have a T-32, 4 T-54 lightweights, and 2 LTTBs. For Simp, 1 110, 3 IS-3s, 2 T-54 lightweights, and a T-37 light tank.
All right. Now taking this victory, I believe we were talking about earlier Tuesday was Simp being in the position of if they win, if they need to win the rest of their games. I believe, did you say to tie for 5th?
So if I remember correctly, Simp has to beat Noble, and then they can tie.
Oh.
But if Noble beats Simp, then Noble takes the 5th slot. Very, very, very likely.
All right, well, here we go. Already some action happening on top of the hill. X-Soldier and Brodus exchanging some fire right there. But X-Soldier and Dodo have been given the hill. Now they have free reign of it. The question is, can Simp be aggressive enough to push him off, or Noble do a good job at making...
Simp better. It's the whole point of their lineup. If they don't bully the hill right now, it's going to all start getting way worse for them. They need to take advantage of the fact that there's 2 tier 7s on Noble's side.
Come on.
And get up there quickly. Not even a whole lot of tanks there to punish them for it.
No.
Not a whole lot of reason to be kind of messing around with this. Go up, take it, take your lumps. You're going to get flanked. It's coming out right now.
All right,
Marsh, German, Dodoma coming up behind.
That's right, and if they don't get up there quickly, this is not going to be good for Simp whatsoever. 3 tanks for Noble going for the flank. Now finally, looks like they're getting that aggression on the IS-3s. Just now being able to push up on top of the hill. X-Soldier deciding to be by himself, being abandoned. Now Kula going to be the focus there, have to bail off the side of the cliff. Crimson Corsair taking a shot from Milton from basically across the map there into that T-54. Another shot going into Nits again, dropping that IS-3 now to about half health. And now here comes the flank. Let's see what these T-54s and LTTBs can do against Simp as Akula starts putting on the pressure. And David, here we go. We have that situation. We have now switched sides, basically, attackers and defenders.
Yep. So when you're saying that the flank could cause a huge problem for Simp, Simp was pushed far enough middle at that point in time to where the instant they saw the flank, they just had to push up and over, and they were fine.
Gotcha.
And in the meantime, Noble was smart enough just to fall off the hill west and fall off the hill east and run away. They were able to reunite the one person they had on top of the hill with everybody else. So as you said, net result from that whole dance is Simp being lower on HP and having a worse position to defend from. So this is perhaps not perfect on Noble's part, but it's going in their favor.
There we go, though, as Crimson crosses in his T-37, takes some damage from Canadian and Akula there. But Canadian getting some pressure himself. 266 points there, stopping in that T-32. And now having to take pressure and reapply it. Now getting off of it completely as he has to back off. Brodus doing a good amount of work way back there in that T-54. Milton on top of the lighthouse. Crimson just kind of staying back in the bottom there. And Simp going back on top of the hill. Now right now, with the side switched and with the positioning of both the teams, David, who would you rather be?
I would rather be Noble simply because I would not have so many heavy tanks if I were Simp. That's pretty much it.
Really? So it's still pretty close.
Yeah, either team can win this, and I think Simp has a little bit of an advantage in the sense that they don't have to cap, and they've effectively pushed off some of the more important parts of Noble. Canadian Impact getting wrecked, so that's actually still a result of the overall middle fight that happened. Canadian Impact not able to get around that corner before getting picked on by those 54s. So, situation, neither team really excelling in an overall strategic position. Though, I guess you could say Simp is in the sense that it's very hard for Noble to win at this point.
Okay. All right, well, let's see how much they can do and if Noble has any sort of response to this kind of interesting scenario that they have gotten themselves in. Dodo in that T-54 now rushing around the side, going through the eastern. And maybe looking for any sort of information or maybe a pickup on the Protoss in the back. Protoss is technically lower. Dodo is at full health. See what you can do because Overlord Prime is just sitting there and wait in his T-54 as well as trying to an IS-3. Wouldn't be hard for them to turn around at all. Crimson, of course, here in his T-37. Sitting in the back now. Cap pressure being applied. A shot now. Beautiful shot going out there for Dodo. Into Protoss. Dropping even lower in his tank. Another shot from Milton from the lighthouse. Beautiful amount of double teaming going on there in Protoss. Having to back off from his positions. Starting to fall back into a safer place. 2 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock here for the first battle. Our fourth match of the night. Looks like Okula is the one that will be putting that cap pressure on. Germ in this LTTB rushing forward, doing a very aggressive play. Let's see what he's going to look out for it. Taking a shot over the Overlord. They just go around trying to find Crimson Corsair. He lines a shot up. He takes it. It connects. 181 damage. One more shot. He'll go down. There it is. Picking up that T-37. Continuing on his way. Looks like he's looking for Protoss. His turrets are turned. Taking another shot here. Germ doing work. Dodo picking that one up from the east. A nice turnaround. A nice initiation there from Noble. And Akula finding Overlord Prime. 1 minute and 51 seconds and 3 tanks going down just like that on the side of Simp. 40 seconds now on the clock. That looks like that was exactly what Noble needed to really take this match and start making it in their favor. Dodo on the run away from Photo Finish, but Photo Finish can't chase too far because Germ's positioning there in his LTTB, doing a good job kind of forcing them off. That 27 seconds now, and Droxus and Drynitz in those IS-3s pushing forward, trying to find some sort of reset, but getting lit up over. I believe that was from Marsh and Exos there. More shots going through. Drynitz having to ban off the hill because they need to find that reset quickly, because if not, they're going to lose the match fair and square right now. 13 seconds now on the clock, and Drox is pushing forward, trying to find the reset. Drynitz doing his best to come around the corner, lines the shot, taking down Canadian Impact, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, as now he is now in the center of 3 members, all focusing on his position. Akula popping out, Milton cleaning up that one. Nit on top of the hill, finding Dodo, but now in Droxus in his IS-3, he has to come over and take the shot. 54 seconds, Ex-Soldier pushing in up on the hill, trying to find, and Droxus, Akula picks that one up. They put 2 members, they put 3 members. They're going for that cap pressure. Photo Finish in the 110. There is nothing he can do. Actually, he might be able to get a reset here. Coming forward, no, Ex-Soldier picking him up before he falls. And Nit's running off the side. Let's see if he has enough to pick it up. No, the cap goes down to 0. He gets lit up, focused beautifully. One more shot, he'll go down, but it doesn't matter because Noble has successfully capped against him, picking up the first victory of our 4th match of the night. David, looking at that, it was kind of a stalemate there for a second going through. We had switched sides, kind of an awkward position to be on them both. And then Noble, with that LTTB, just being extremely aggressive and throwing it up and pushing that line, finding 2 or 3 tanks with the teammates there. I mean, that was obviously
they got some openings to aggress that they didn't think they would get.
Really?
I thought Simp would hold their positions a little bit better than that, but overall, I mean, we can go to stats and you'll see exactly what happened here.
Let's do it.
It's just awful shooting for the most part. Overlord Prime, 8 shots, 3 hits, no penetrations.
Wow.
IS-3, 3 hits, 1 penetration. Another IS-3, 4 hits,
Wow.
2 penetrations.
Yeah, there it is.
Just not even getting enough shots in, let alone, meanwhile, everybody else on Noble, it's not like they had excellent penetration rates, but they had higher DPM, higher mobility from all those T-54s, and they were just letting them fly and connecting more often.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, much better damage spread down Noble's side, and not enough damage to spread down Simp's side, getting outmaneuvered overall. And that's what I was saying when I said I'd rather be Noble in the sense that they have the light tanks, but from the positions I saw where Simp was, with a few minor tweaks,
It would have been fine.
they could have held that just fine. They missed some key elements, like I said. Dodoma coming around the east side. pretty much just let that happen. I
Okay.
did notice Dodoma had optics on his T-54 lightweight,
Oh.
and I don't know if Brodus did. So there was a chance there that he was outspotting Brodus. Brodus couldn't see him.
Gotcha.
There's a number of other things that were going on there, but GG to Noble,
Absolutely.
even finding those gaps, making the right plays they needed to, and hitting those shots.
Now, do you think pushing that LTTB for the side of Noble was a move they saw based off information, or was it just based off of, hey, we got to do this now, this is what we've got?
I think it was information and necessity.
All right, well, both worked out for them in that case. And we're now into our second battle of our fourth matchup of the night. Undermines, we're on the same sides, so let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for the tanks.
So for Noble, an IS-3, 4 T-54 lightweights, and 2 LTTBs. For Simp, changing it up to 1 T-32, 5 T-54 lightweights, and a T-37. Ooh, hard to get outmaneuvered now. And the T-32,
Dropping
IS-3. Good selections for each side of the map they're on, honestly.
dropping those heavy tanks. So let's see if that means you're going to go for a more aggressive push on the hill, or if they're just going to use those in some sort of other fashion to find mobility and presence. Brodus, and it's pushing up on the TV4's fall, but it looks like 6 members of Simp. Here comes what might be a very decisive hill fight. Militant and X-Soldier set up and waiting. Akula now also getting in his position in his lightweight. Back and forth, shots going down, nothing connecting for the tank. Militant having to back into a corner a little bit, but no pressure from Simp. Stalling out here on top of the hill. Shots going out, 2 actually, missing on both of them, and not a single point of damage has been done here. Looks like 4 or 5 shots out fired. Finally, Akula be the one to find that damage there. Photo finish, picking that one up in his T-32. Akula now back up. Militant looks like he's starting to abandon ship, falling off the side there, getting back off, dropping down off the hill. I think X-Soldier just maintain that position by himself there. Now repositioning to go down the hill. That's a nice way to do it. A little bit of a safer path. More shots being fired. More misses from both of the teams. And David, looks like we got ourselves a stalemate.
Pretty much. Not exactly 100% stale, but from this position, pretty easily deciphered where Noble has to go. It's the 1-2. I'm a little bit concerned about Simp's positioning right now. Okay, they do have Crimson Corsair here to see if anybody goes past them in the 1-2. And they're actually postured to overwhelm middle if that happens. But I don't think that Noble's in the positions where they could easily get those kills unless they get very solid double tracks. Other than that, it's really only Marsh that's kind of exposed, but he can run. Canadian Impact, you just don't want to come around.
Oh, whoa, here we go. Here's the aggression. Simp coming in the corner, trying to feel to focus it. Akula having to back up the hill. X-Soldier back up as well. And a lot of damage going in onto Simp as they were pushing for that hillside. X-Soldier now abandoning as well. Dryness coming in the corner. They're trying to continue this aggression. Marsh in his LTTB. A beautiful setup there to start doing some damage. Dryness is going to be the focus here. Canadian Impact getting a nice chunk there. X-Soldier turning his shirt to come out and join. And now Germ flanking from the back in his LTTB. Let's see what he can do. Going on, cap pressure being applied there for Noble. Actually, Akula just running through him. Brodus getting dropped low in his T-54 lightweight. Germ now making on top of the hill. They had now coming around for the flank and chasing Marsh here. Nits, Overload Prime, and Crimson are on the hunt for that LTTB. Going over the side, 357 points of damage here. A couple more shots. He'll go down to 489. Overload Prime should pick this one up. And there it is. Marsh going down the first tank of the battle on the side of Noble and Simp, having to turn around and find out what they can. Noble didn't seem like they reacted too well to that, as they're just allowing Simp to pick that one up without having any sort of certain response here. I guess the response would be the cap pressure, actually, that they're applying 2 members on that western number 2 cap pressure on your map in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Canadian Impact coming on top of the IS-3, getting a chunk of damage as well. And now Noble have to respond relatively quickly. They need to start rushing. They can't kill too much time as Nits and Adrox is coming in the corner, trying to find a good angle with Crimson to reset Germ or Akula. Either one will do. 13 seconds now. Brodus coming around the side as well. He looks like he's going to look for the cap. 9 seconds now, and there's the reset. Brodus, a beautiful pickup. Another shot there. 2 very essential resets at the cap going down, but Canadian Militant responding by taking 2 members of Simp for themselves. And now it is a 6-on-5 here, back in favor of Noble. Now Trident is going, taking down X-Soldier. 33,000 HP for Simp, 4,000 for Noble Gaming here. Militant and Dodo set up pretty well on the lighthouse here. Akula and Jerb starting to abandon the cap pressure. as they must fear for Crimson Knit's position. Photo finish coming to the corner. Canadian Impact, one more shot. Knit should be able to pick this one up from the side. Let's see if he can do it. Waiting, lining it up. Not actually going to pop out in fear, maybe of some damage himself. But there it is, Militant picking that up. A couple shots now going on. Akula picking that one as well. The shot on Donomo actually bouncing, and Germ up on the top, going and finding Drynitz in his LTTB. And the more Simp stall us out, looks like the worse it is getting for him. And now Photo Finish is in a bit of a tough position here in that T32. Canadian Impact could one-shot him, I believe, as well as Germ. Shots going out. Germ's shot missing. Canadian Impact still one more shot. He is holding, looking for any one of these members. A T37 and the two T4s come out. Looks like it's going to be Nitz. If he can get a shot off, he'll pick it up. He shoots Akula. Doesn't make that shot. Another shot going to Germ. Shots missing as well. All over the place, David. Shots are flying.
Noble starting to get it done here. I thought they had better position earlier, and that this shouldn't have been nearly as close as it was, but they started getting some of those final movements out. Simp overcommitting for a second time into the northwest with B2. There's really no way for them to get out as they're pinned down from middle. They can't even effectively shoot Canadian Impact, who can effectively lock down Photo Finish. Photo Finish can get locked down by Germ, which is pretty likely to happen unless Photo can get a snapshot off right now.
There we go. Crimson Corsair in his T37. Looks like he's going to go for it. The shot's going on to Crimson. The shot missing. And now he's going to get the punishment. Crimson Corsair going down to Militant. Going to pick that one up. Canadian Impact firing on doing Droxus in that T54. One more shot. He'll go down. Militant finding another kill. Back-to-back kills here. And Droxus missing another shot. Canadian Impact picking him up for that. And now it is just Photo Finish. Germ should be able to find this one in the LTTB. Dodemon coming up in the corner just to finish this one off. Simp is on the defense, but Photo Finish extremely low. One more shot. Germ backing up to land this one up, and there it goes. Let him play. No, finish. Photo Finish. Locking him down before he goes, no. I'm going to tie to Dodo. Dodo is going to be willing to pick that one up, and now Noble have a 2-lead victory to Simp in our fourth and final matchup of the night.
Poor Germ.
Poor
Germ.
He just can't catch a break, it seems.
Like I said, throughout that whole situation, I felt Noble had full control. They made some mistakes, some bad calls, some bad movement.
Sure.
And after a fashion, got it back. Simp made some additional mistakes, and Noble started taking advantage of those better than they did the first ones. We can go to stats long enough to show off maybe two people.
Let's do it.
Canadian Impact, 14 shots, 9 penetrations, nearly 3,000 damage. Akula following up with 7 out of 7 hits, so shots he did hit. The rest of the team, really Marsh not getting in his overall amount. He was the one that got isolated in the corner, and I believe, yes, he was. And I didn't quite understand how he got caught there as easily as he did. It's very fast tank, just moving a little bit late. Photo Finish doing vast majority for Simp, 1671 out of 7 penetrations overall. And that's really it.
Yeah, that's kind of all that happened there in that battle. But we were talking about the setup that Simp brought there with those IS3s. They needed to put that aggression on top of that hill. Do you think they just didn't do it quick enough? Is that what allowed them to get in kind of a rough kind of setup there?
Ask the question one more time. I was looking at.
That's fine. So the IS3s that Simp brought was for that hill aggression.
Oh, yeah. They only brought. Noble's the one that brought an IS3. Simp brought a T32. Are you talking about the match before?
Oh, I thought it was this match that happened where they were going for the hill. They just didn't bring that aggression quick enough. But either way,
no.
The confusion. I'm wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, into the next matchup, we have switched sides. Noble versus Simp. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Real quickly, what I got distracted by was I was actually looking at Adroxus' defensive points. He got 78 defensive points in the last match. He and Brodus did the vast majority of the reset. Brodus with 48. Anyways, Noble, T32, 5 T54 lightweights, and a T37. And now that they're on offense, Simp with an IS3, a T32, 4 T54 lightweights, and an AMX 13F3. So the 13F3 is an interesting artillery piece.
I've never seen that before.
It has a strange... We saw it one time with high voltage. And it has a strange traverse in that most of it is biased, so it aims actually off to one side, not dead center, with equal left and equal right.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it's mostly right. So we'll check that out here in a second. But there is a middle fight possibly popping off here.
There's a lot of fires going out, but again, not a lot of damage going through, but Akula getting picked up in his C54, getting dropped down to 839 points. Noble now scared to push any further. Simp doing a good job making sure they don't grab that hill without taking any sort of punishment. And still, Noble backing off here. Broden. Sitting back, taking some shots from the side. Dodo going around a very early flank there, coming out for the side of Noble, and there's some damage going to Akula. 388 points there. Nice artillery shot. I'm not sure if Crimson picked that one up.
It was.
There it is. There we go. Photo finish now going through. Going against Canadian Impact. 2 T-32s. Duking out on top. Reloads against reloads. Let's see who's going to come out on top of this one. 294 going into Photo. Another shot just missing Canadian Impact. 266 now, and now Nitz coming to join the fight. But let's see if he gets punched. Another artillery shot going out. Not sure where that one went. Canadian Impact, some more damage. Looks like Nitz, they're finally taking a shot, but not connecting, and Germ coming out to respond. Dodo still, looks he's about to find some company as Adroxus and Brodus coming around to find him. Brodus taking the first chunk of damage there, but Dodo gonna get backed into a corner. He has to, I don't know if there's actually anywhere he can go. More shots going out there. Noble going down. Dodo is being dropped down now to about half health in his T-54. A shot for artillery coming out. Photo finish. Actually getting dropped very low. One more shot. He'll go to X-Soldier. Picking that one up. And now still over in the village. Germ fighting Nitz. Dodo still doing a good job dancing around these two T-54s. A great bit of damage coming out there. But finally, Dodo does go down to Brodus. And now it is 5 tanks against the 6 of Noble, and the fight continue to go through. The aggression coming out. Drynitz picking up X-Soldier. Akula coming around to try to find Drynitz. Germ picking up Overload Prime. Noble starting to claw their way and clean up Simp 1 tank at a time. Canadian Impact is extremely low, but Brodus running up and just being beautifully focused fired. Some nice cross shots going in there. And Germ fighting Adroxus. Simp just cannot catch a break here in this battle. It is just Crimson, Corsair, and Drynitz left for the side of Simp, and Noble start cleaning this one up any minute.
Really don't think the 13F3 got in enough damage to warrant being brought in the situation.
Oh.
I think it's about 800 or so total. Other than that, Noble just outplayed him on the hill fight, and Simp didn't really have a whole lot of tricks to get away from it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and also, looking at, we kind of didn't get to see that battle there because the cameras were focused on what's happening on the hill. But Dodo over in the village there in the east fighting against 254s, and he actually stayed alive a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, I saw that quite a bit. We can go to statistics again.
All
Take
right.
a look at exactly how well the 13F3 did. 5 shots, 2 hits, 2 penetrations, 2 splash damage in that whole deal for a grand total of 828. So yeah, probably not really worth in that situation. Canadian Impact leading up his team, 2,600 with 8 penetrations. Germ immediately following. And then the rest of the people that you usually see putting up the damage lately, not quite following suit. Meanwhile, for Simp, Drynitz, Photo, and again the same thing. A lot of the guys that you usually see do a lot of the damage, not pulling through. So perhaps all those guys from both sides are just busy locking each other down, and meanwhile everybody else gets to have their fun. I don't know.
Fantasy points.
Again, it's another situation where I could use a number of cameras to really study all the different things that are going on there. But what I saw is very clear. A hill fight that went strongly in Noble's favor,
right.
Using the small terrain better, overall strategy better. Like you said, Dodo dragging off 2 tier 8s, pretty much GG right then and there.
Yeah, and now kind of going back because we have some time talking about the artillery size, the FV.
It's the AMX 13F3.
AMX 13F3. And now you're talking about the bias it has, one side to the other. How does that? What does that help in an actual battle? Is that just to get certain angles that you normally wouldn't get, or?
Doesn't really help.
Huh.
I suppose it can help in the sense that if you're worried about counter battery or running, then you can face one direction and fire in almost in another and then drive away. So it doesn't move as predictably as some other artillery do, where an M44 has to go forwards or backwards, that kind of thing, even though it's got a pretty wide traverse as well.
Gotcha.
There's no real advantage to it. That's not why anybody brings it. They bring it for other characteristics. It's just a quirk of it, where it aims like 3 degrees to the left and then 45 to the right, something like that.
Wow.
I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head.
Well, it didn't quite work out there for Simp. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into our next battle. Noble might take one to me 4-0 against our next map, or let's see if Simp can take just one victory here on Mines. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Noble with 150, 100, 4 IS-3s, 2 LTTBs. And Simp with 1 IS-3, a T-32, 4 T-54 lightweights, and again with the AMX 13F3. So he can connect more than he did last time. If he does, it's quite a bit of damage that comes out of that thing, if I remember correctly. But debatable over the M44 right now, honestly. Or even bringing it all. So far, just not seeing enough connections to really warrant it. The thing with Oxmathis when he brings his, it makes him so praiseworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Already up there.
Simp.
Oh yeah, all the IS3s.
Oh, IS3s. Yeah.
I didn't
Like,
even comment
wait a
on
second.
it. I just
Noble.
went right past it. Of course. So we'll see if they can bully their way up top. I hope for their sake they don't try. But I hope for Simp's sake they do, because Crimson Corsair will ruin one of those guys if they turn the side to
But
it.
Drynitz getting focused there by Noble and his IS3, getting dropped to below half health. Like you're saying, Noble now wisely backing off, not putting that pressure quite readily here. Crimson hopefully up and away. There goes a shot coming through. Let's see if it connects. Just barely missing there. Nothing there. And Germ sitting in the back in his LTTB. Dodo and his 5100 still in the back as well. Now with that 5100, we talk about being really good for corner fights, and we see it. Its use is when you get all those clips out. Sitting in the back there, is he bringing that because they knew they weren't going to take the hill, so he's looking to get some cheeky shots onto anyone who is on top, poking over the side?
It seems to be a reinforcement for the IS3s. It's sort of a DPM filler in a sense. When you bring a lot of 54s, you don't have to worry about cleanup that much.
Okay.
Because there's almost always somebody loaded. And his shot isn't so valuable as in the sense that it doesn't take so long for him to reload. They can't just take it to kill a 20 HP tank, right?
Sure.
With the IS3, each shot is valuable in a fight like this. 5100, they're still valuable, but he can do some effective cleanup. He can also hold his own if anything comes down the 8-9, and he gets it head-to-head, he can clip down one of those tanks at least. So it's a nice backup tank for this kind of heavy lineup. It's a nice backup tank in general. The trick is always getting it in the fight effectively. Right now, Simp is actually the one that has to worry about that. 7,500 damage, or 7,500 HP overall versus 9,300.
Oof.
And one of the IS3s, or the IS3, one of your biggest attributes into initiating a fight is at 691. So, fortunately for them on this map, T-54 lightweights are much more likely to initiate, as they're going to aggress down the 1-2 or the 8-9. In my personal opinion in this situation, the 1-2 is the better one. IS-3s are more easily assaulted from the southwest, but you will give uphill while you do that. And it looks like all these things are happening right as I'm saying.
Right as you're saying it. Impact going over the top. Just missing a shot from there. It's really there. And now Photo Finish getting focused as well. He's backing up. Akula coming as well, but X-Soldier actually being tracked now. A lot of damage, 1,100, a couple more shots into him, and he should go down. There's one, but there's two, and Droxus picking up an IS-3, and the first tank falling on the side of Noble. Speaking about how important those IS-3s are, and there goes one. Canadian Impact as well, getting dropped down below half, trying to fight off against Overload Prime now. Not in a good position because a couple more shots from Overload, and he should go down himself. There's one. Actually, it bounces. Not looking good there for the top there, and over on the side, more damage coming out on the side, and Droxus in Photo Finish. Marsh over in the corner, and Dodo now getting into the fight. Overload Prime, who dropped extremely low. He just needs one more shot for Canadian. There it is. He picks it up. Now two tanks down, two IS-3s for the side of Noble. Now the response, Marsh in that 5100 finding Androxus. And now a T-54 down for Simp. Nitz taking a little bit of damage there coming out. Looks like from Marsh as well. Dodo backing off here as Brodus starting to chase him there on top. We've got these IS-3s now pushing up along with the LTTB coming out. Brodus chasing down the 5100 who is on reload. So Germ finding Overload, but if no one can help Dodo here, he is going to go down. One more shot. Brodus should pick it up over on the side. Here it comes. There it is. Brodus taking down Dodo, and Nitz finding Milton. Simp looks like they're actually going to find their first victory of the night on the Mines. Marsh and LTTB versus a T-54. Shots going out, taking a little bit of damage there. Another shot going through. Brodus should clean this one up as well. Another kill for that lightweight tank. There it is. Now just two tanks remain on top of the hill, an IS-3 and an LTTB. Noble technically is on defense, but there's still 2 minutes and 40 seconds in on the match, so Simp should be able to pick this one up.
Simp, they should, but it's certainly not over yet.
Oh.
LTTB, nah, it's over. It's over. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I honestly didn't. I was looking at the hit point values at the time, and I was like, well, I mean, they're close. Oh, right. Look at how many tanks are left. Akula, yep, you're pretty much done. It would take Germ somehow ammo racking 9 people in a row. Not
Do
really
it, Germ.
9, obviously, 4 people in a row. For this to actually come back,
wow. Oh.
Just trying to hold steady. Better off face hugging. It's in that situation. Or just bounce everything that shot at you. That also works.
Man.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Kula coming back.
There we go. Brodus now getting focused. One more shot and from the LTTB, and he'll go down, but he gets around the corner just in time, and Germ should go into Photo Finish with Drynitz. Drynitz taking the shot. Here it comes. Let's see if you can find it and line up in time. No, bouncing forward. It looks like another net. Bounces going all over the place, but there it is. Nitz and Photo Finish picking that one up. Simp claiming their first victory of our 4th and final match of the night. Now making the score Noble 3, Simp 1. And man, that was a lot of bounces up on top there.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much over at
Bounce
that point
City.
anyways. Crimson Corsair, 628 out of 6 shots. Again, the 13F3 just not bringing its weight. Like I was saying before, the reason I'm so in support of Oxmathis bringing his M44 is when he does it, all he has to do is connect twice with those heat shells he fires.
And you're good.
Puts up like 1,200, 1,300 damage, which is, on average, he's still like 2nd or 3rd overall in his damage totals. So you could debate the psychological effect or the immediate sustainability of being able to track people. You can debate the fine points of whether it's worth or not. But it's a tier 6 that puts up tier 8 damage when Oxmathis drives the M44.
So that's worth.
So it's worth it. The 13F3 in that instance, I suppose it's kind of worth it in the sense that I'm not sure that he would put up 628 or 800 in a T37. So it's an upgrade there, I guess.
Okay.
But it does forfeit some spotting stuff. Whatever. I'm not going to keep going on it. They can bring what they want.
Right. This didn't quite work out.
Just
that
kind
much.
of a talking point in general. So that really worked in Simp's favor there, almost by pure luck.
Really?
I would have expected them to be rotating and go down the 1-2 a little faster. And in my mind, it looked like Noble expected them to be rotating down the 1-2 a little bit faster. So when they pushed up and over, Simp was just getting ready to do it. And
So they had
Noble
tanks there.
went up, and there were tanks there. And if those tanks weren't there, totally different ballgame.
Gotcha.
IS-3s pushed up. But that's not to defend the fact that they're bringing 4 IS-3s on a defense anyways, which I still, in my opinion, is far from some sort of hard truth.
Okay.
But I just hate it. It's so slow. You know exactly what the other team's going to do, and artillery ruins it if it gets connected with it. It's just there's so many weaknesses to it, and the biggest thing for me is the predictability.
Sure.
They're going to go there. After a while, they're going to push hill, make them pay for it all. There you go.
All right, well, and it did actually work out there for Simp in that case. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the score 3-1 in favor of Noble. We're into our next battle onto Himmelsdorf. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Got to bully both teams equally.
Bully and
bullying the lineups and bullying the calls.
Absolutely.
All bully all day. Noble with 2 110s, 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a T-37. Simp with 2 5100s, 4 IS-3s, and an AMX-12T. No muss, no fuss. 110s from Simp's side. 2 110s. Himmelsdorf again. Actually, was surprised to see Himmelsdorf being a map they picked.
Oh,
we were discussing.
Yeah.
I didn't think either of these teams would want to play it. But you know what? Perhaps they both have alternate strategies and they're ready to break them out. And they're expecting the other team to hard counter them or something. I don't know. We'll see if the 110s can justify themselves in my eyes. They have yet another chance. And so far, I've never been happy with 2 of them.
No pressure, 110s, no pressure whatsoever.
And they don't care. They don't care what I think. All that matters is whether it works for them.
That's true. We got the start up here now. Marsh in that very classic courtyard control situation coming out for Noble in that T-37, getting some proxy spot there onto a Droxus. Now, looking at the usage of this spot, is this something we've seen these teams do? Something we've seen actually Noble do, or is this kind of a mix-up for them on this map?
We've seen Noble do this defense once before, I believe.
Okay.
I remember Dodoma being exactly where he is. I'm not 100% certain we've seen Noble do this exactly this quickly, but we've seen teams do this. Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely we've seen teams. I was wondering if Noble was the one.
We've seen Simp push right through it.
Oh, here we go. That's true. Not taking any damage, but finally takes some damage this time. Photo finish in that IS-3. One taking a shot there, but Drynitz and Nitz getting through unscathed, and Droxus now in the back left with Overload Prime, and now Drynitz poking out. Looks like they are going for Marsh. I still want to pick up. The turrets are turned over here, over on the side of the railroad tracks. Dodo taking some shots. Nice 292 points of damage there in the IS-3, but from the hill, a beautiful shot there coming out. It was from Nitz. No, not on Nitz. From the back there. Maybe it was in Droxus. Nitz
Marsh.
Yeah, Marsh popping out. I can spot and also do some damage. There's another chunk, but half in his HP going through from one shot of that IS-3. Now he's got to be careful. He'll definitely think twice before doing that. And Droxus getting a nice shot there onto X-Shoulder. We've got sort of a courtyard battle going through. Just kind of everyone shooting all the way across. Drynitz coming in the corner, trying to find more. Marsh, his shot actually missing. And he takes some extreme punishment for that. Brodus was the one on top of the hill in this 5100, taking those shots down, raining them down to Germ here in his 110. Akula still has, looks like 5 shots there, ready and waiting for anyone pops out. X-Soldier just getting some more and more damage, and Droxus hasn't quite moved, and Again, looks like both these teams are going to just continue to do this until we see some sort of trigger. What do you think will be a trigger for both these teams? And right now, who is this in favor of it?
I mean,
obviously,
it's
Noble.
obviously in favor of Noble.
Right.
They don't have to go anywhere. Simp does. Simp's 5100 is firing down from the top of the hill, trying to get damage onto these 110s, and that's not working out. So with Canadian Impact taking a little bit of damage, but still increasing that gap, overall net positive exchange for him. Dodoma could clip, come in someplace else. Overlord Prime, really the one that's sitting pretty to make a big difference in this match, closing in on Dodoma with 6 in the chamber, and Dodo none the wiser.
Here we go. Here it comes. One shot going through 283, 591. Finally, Dodo is there to respond, but it might not be enough because he has to go into the courtyard where he will be the focus. Now backing off behind this, behind the little house here. Dryness just need to pop out and take a couple shots at him. He would be going down. I'm not sure if the communication for Simpson's in there. Dodo now turning to Dryness. A shot going through. Let's see if March can pop out and take it. He does. The T-37 taking the IS-3 down. Nits responding by taking that 5100, but an IS-3 going down. That is not something you want to have happen for Simp in this situation. As over in the north, Akula picking up Brodus. Marsh doing some MVP moves, going in now against an IS-3 again. Androx is shutting him down. Man, if he would have picked up photo finish here, that would have been just another highlight. Loads of highlights here coming out from tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You've tuned into a good one. Nits and his IS-3 backing up 251 points of damage. Still 5 tanks remain for Simp, but the HP hugely in favor of Noble. Now it's over 1,500, and Akula taking some damage from the top. Here we go, Crimson Corsair, that 12T unloading a nice chunk of damage. 1,500 X-Soldier in the courtyard, goes down, 568. Another shot, let's see if he can do it. No, Crimson ran out of ammo. He is now on the reload, and Droxus picks up X-Soldier just in the bottom of your screen there. And now we have Milton going against photo finish, waiting for the shot, taking it. A 110 going against an IS-3. It seems like a whole David and Goliath story here happening on these tanks. And Drox is coming in the corner, finding that 110, taking a shot. 358 going into the bounce.
That right there. Why I don't like the 110 in comparison to the IS-3.
All right, you're seeing it. You're seeing it with your own eyes. 96 seconds now. Crimson applying some cap pressure for the side of Simp. He is full health in that AMX 12T, but he's got 5100s and IS-3s coming on at the location. He's not going to live for much longer here. Noble having 4 tanks. Simp having 3, and Drox is finding another shot. Milton popping out. Let's see if he can find it, and Drox is finding some safety here, and now the chase on that 12T is going through a Canadian Impact, and Akula just chasing him away.
Well,
Crimson going back up the hill.
Yeah, he can't keep going up the hill, but he can't leave either.
Gotcha.
So,
he's just done.
Yeah, he should wait. He should buy time. And if they come up after him, then that's an easy key for Overlord and Adroxus to jump on Militant. But Overlord is in some serious trouble right now.
Here it comes.
This is actually a situation where the 110 starts being good again.
Pushing across the courtyard, the 5100 Militant on the reload. He'll take the shot up. Let's see if he can find it before he gets found himself. He's just waiting for Androxus to come on the corner, turning the side to Overlord Prime. The shot going out. Militant picking up now. Androxus is going to find Militant. 3 tanks to the 2, and a minute and 15 seconds left. Androxus is extremely low here. They were talking about the 110, though. If he bounces the shot and Androxus can get a nice roll, he might be able to take it down, but nope. Germ going to take down Androxus. Now just Crimson Corsair in a full health 12T. Nope, as I speak, getting dropped to 303 health, 596 now going down. Akula, one more shot, he'll go down. Not sure if he can make the corner. Germ coming around to make sure he does it. Akula picking that one up, and Noble going to increase that victory 4-1. And our 4th and final matchup of the night. Let's talk about that kind of that courtyard there for a moment, because we just had those back and forth kind of just shots from across the map. No brawls, just long range damage going back and forth, and obviously Noble just came out on top of that in a huge way.
Yeah, I don't know really why Simp stopped once they start going up the 8 line. They kind of just let themselves get pinned. Last time they did it, they drove straight up and they had no problems.
Yeah,
Tons of shots just whiffed.
Yep.
And what it did is allow a lot of those tanks to continuously shoot. We discussed a little bit the IS-3 versus the 110. The 110 fires faster, aims a little faster. So on those quick corner pokes,
it's good.
Snapshot exchanges, it's good and it's bad.
Okay.
Because it's more likely to hit. But if both tanks hit, then the IS-3 is more likely to do more damage.
Gotcha.
So, and then, technically, the advantage there is, if it's just a head-to-head, is the corner is then under control of the 110. Because he's faster reload than the IS-3. So if the IS-3 stays in the corner, he shoots him first.
Gotcha.
Which enables the 110 to do a lot of things. But the 110's turret makes it a little bit easier to penetrate at that distance. Whatever. I can keep going with a big list.
Yeah.
The big thing is DPM. And in that situation, actually, we saw Marsh. That's
Oh
that's what I
man,
was
that
looking at.
T37
Yes,
doing
all
work.
his shots were super clutch, and he almost
Doing
picked up
work.
his second IS3. He was going to until Adroxus poked out
Yeah.
and hit him there. And I looked up. I was like, where was the cover on Marsh?
Yeah.
I thought he had two 110s watching Adroxus.
He wasn't.
The 110s were in transit going down the D line at the time.
Oh,
and
darn
if they
it.
had still been in position, it probably would have been Adroxus and the tank that Marsh was shooting at, both
Whew.
grabbed for Noble. But overall, big thing there was Noble was in control the whole time. Simp didn't find a way to break out of it. Another GG for Noble over Simp.
Absolutely. Now
4-1.
making that lead 4-1. Just needing one more victory to take it. Let's see if they can do it right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Coming back with a Noble with two 110s, two 5100s, two IS3s, and a T37. Meanwhile, Simp with two 5100s, four IS3s, and a 12T. Same lineups, same sides, same map, slightly different score.
Yeah, that is the one. That is the one deciding factor here that makes the difference between both these teams here. Now we do. It looks like it's very similar lineup here. Marsh going very quickly, maybe trying to find that courtyard position. And David, I believe if I remember correctly, you were saying that the only way to stop that. Actually, no, he's kind of changed the end this time. But the only way to stop that is to do it before he even gets there. It is possible for Simp to get into positions to shut him down. Before it happens, right?
I mean, aside from pushing your 12T immediately after him, no, you can't stop.
Oh,
Marsh
really?
from getting
You
there.
just have to let him get there.
Yeah. It's another situation where we need to draw the map for a while. And the answers are slightly different between the format that I played versus the current format, because there's basically another tier 8 on the map. Oh, there's a lot more points on the map, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So it's a little bit harder to break, but there are ways of finding that position and then taking it out. Big thing is it just proxy spots you there, and it can be a huge problem, but it's also giving your opponent a tier 6 right off the bat. And it's not exceedingly difficult to dig him out of there through a variety of means. Most of it is just very, very, very well-controlled angles. So we've talked in the past about the village on Ruinberg being a hard study, but once you get it, it's easy to control, assuming the other team doesn't understand it as well.
Right.
Same thing with Himmelsdorf, but Himmelsdorf is even harder. You have windows, you have ramps,
Rubble.
you have rubble, all these angles here. You're looking just this right here, aiming underneath this area makes it a lot easier. All these windows, all these ramps that we were discussing before. There's one that's super tricky. It's over here. That's a huge problem. That ramp actually, while it looks good, death trap. Never go there on offense. Here.
Write that down.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
what Dodoma was shooting
Yeah,
through
we've
before.
seen those tanks
It's
before.
a huge problem. This is what makes the 8 line hard to push sometimes. If you can hit those shots, it's hard to fire back. This is one way Simp is controlling this. They've got Drynitz in his IS-3 and fountain control. Now he has a couple different places he can be shot from through some of these gaps and around different corners. But so far, with the Droxus and Nitz moving up on the other side, them checking every corner, they have found their way of pushing across this and obtaining the courtyard control they didn't have before. Granted, Noble gave it to them.
Right.
They're not
right.
super
They're
worried
not-
about
They're
it.
not trying to do it.
And Noble has an interesting strategy, falling back to something similar to the camp they've been in, with a couple hitches. So, not quite the same as it was before. So if Simp tries to hard counter it, there could be a trap lying in wait. A counter for the counter, if you will. But it looks like Simp is more focused on trying to take the Western, which is probably in their best interest. Honestly, hard to say. The more Himmelsdorf plays out this season, the less I want to be on offense on it, honestly.
Okay.
Like we talked about in the very beginning, very easy to assault in the beginning, and it gets a lot harder as defense learns the meta, because this map is just all blind corners and bad sight lines. And a good defense puts so much fear into you. Every time you turn a corner, you expect to die. And it can very easily
That is
happen.
terrifying.
It can very easily happen with the tanks that Noble has. So
And
this is
Droxus.
always one of the most gut-wrenching maps to play for me. There are ways of moving about it, owning every corner, pre-sighting everything, but it takes up huge amounts of time. And if you do it, and then you don't, say the other team isn't there, well, you just wasted 4 minutes moving from one end of the map to the other. And you get in the situation Simpson right now. They don't really have anything going for them. Noble can easily counter almost anything they've got going on. And while Simp may get it done, certainly not in a position to do it inside 3 minutes.
There we go. Let's see if they can now. They got to do it. They probably should do it now. Marsh and T37 taking some shots. They're getting shot. 415 points of damage there. down the tracks. Looks like from Dryden's or Overload Prime there. It was definitely Dryden's going to take that shot on that IS3. Now finally reloaded, now getting pushed in that position. Now if Noble can't find a way to get him out, maybe they just shouldn't. Maybe just leave him there to go down, because Overload Prime should come around here and clean up that corner. But the question is, how will Noble respond to this? And Droxus, his IS3 still above half health, and there it is. Overload Prime finding more, but not from the side. Canadian Impact, a nice chunk of damage there into Androxus. Androxus there. Milton hanging out in the corner, taking another shot there. Dodo fully loaded in that 5100. More shots going there now. Dryden set up. Crimson back in that house. Really, we're talking about the only place that you can cap if you're going for that western side is getting behind, this building that Crimson Corsair is in. That way you don't get shot now. 2 tanks being applied now. Nitz actually is hopping off, so the cap is at 74 seconds. Nitz getting tracked there by Milton, taking a shot to Dodo. Dodo getting lit up. Beautiful focus fire coming out there for Simp. That 5100, I believe, only got 1 shot out, and it was a track. So that they might be paying for that very soon. Androxus is very low. Let's see if X-Soldier or Kulak will come pick it up. Jur from the side, gonna find it, and Androxus going down to X-Soldier. Androxus will not be fighting anymore. Overload Prime sitting back, 3 shots left. Now we have photo finish, picking up Impact now over on the side with Brodus there. That courtyard presence is gone for Noble, and there are only 4 tanks to defend this. 42 seconds now. Noble starting to put the pressure on. Let's see if they've done it quick enough. Akula getting dropped down below half of the 5100. Now the shots going all over the place. Crimson getting reset, but I'm not sure that's going to be what Noble needs, because they have so many tanks dealt here and so much HP to get through. Akula picking up Nitz, but now Brodus joining the fight. 2 shots in that 5100. Let's see how much he makes him count. He takes 1 into Akula. Crimson going down to X-Soldier. Brodus there, his final shot, going to pick up that 5100 himself. German, that 110 does find Brodus, but he himself from Dryness in the back will go down very shortly. Photo finish picks up Germ. Simp gonna take this victory. 44 seconds. X-Soldier does need, if he can run in his IS3, he might be able to, nope. Photo finish picking that one up, and now just Milton alive. 35 seconds, he should go down. He should, let's see, pick up, no, taking a shot, missing. Now Brodus there, I believe that was his target. 27 seconds, but Simp knows what they need to do. They're going to get down here. 1 shot. Brodus coming in the corner. Over the Prime. Should be able to pick this one up, and there it is. Tank going down. Simp now with 2 victories against Noble's 4. Doing their best to start clawing their way back. Doing their best to try to stay in this battle as long as possible. Yeah, that's what they need to do if they want to take this victory. Now looking at kind of what we saw there, that was a lot. Is that what we saw?
No, so much happened there in favor of Noble that they really should have taken it home in that one.
Okay.
Drynet's putting the team on his shoulders, 2,700 damage, Overlord Prime with 1,900. What I was just so confused by is Canadian Impact had 2 tier 8s on him in the southeast for, I swear, a full minute at least.
Okay.
Which means it's essentially a 5-on-4 of tier 8s. And the other half of the map.
Right.
Now, Dodoma had one of the 5100s, I think it was Overlord Prime, dead to rights as they were driving up the 1-2 in a place where he can fire without being spotted. And now the only reason why Dodo shouldn't fire in that instance, or might not fire, is because it may have been beyond his render range. But that's an angle that is very reliable and predictable. You look at the minimap, and you just start clicking down range, because there is Overlord Prime. He could have taken out a 5100. I don't know if there was something that I missed about him being spotted or him being worried about being taken out himself. But in his position, that's what he's there for. He's there to make that shot count. And the Marsh essentially went down in that region for no real reason.
Okay.
Got isolated. And there was a lot of stuff. Just that one line should have helped. Then Canadian Impact on the other side. Simp just strategically out of position almost the whole time. And Noble giving it away, making their final response a little bit too late. And when they did, they executed it fairly well. They just already given up too many tanks. A tier 8 in the southeast and a tier 8 in the northwest for reasons, I guess just reasons, like not good reasons.
Hashtag reasons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if Noble can get in that same position, but this time close it out. They just need 1 more victory still to end the night out. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
And I want to take 1 second to point out that Simp did play gutsy. And fairly well, given what happened, I guess. I don't know. the whole 1-on-2 in the southeast was driving me nuts. Noble with 3 5100s, 3 IS3s, and AMX-12T. Simp with 2 5100s, 4 IS3s, and a T-37. Can Simp claw their way back into this match with 2 defensive holds and tie up Noble, or can Noble take it home with 1 offensive win and 2 games left?
That's
in
right.
the regular play of this match.
Now, kind of going off the last match, something we've been seeing is, I believe it was Lamp versus Simp last time, in a position where, again, Simp was technically out of position. They were out of place. Lamp should have had the victory, and they still decided to claim that. Are you still is it still in the fact that Noble maybe just kind of dropping the ball in certain areas, or is Simp just really good at being in those situations where they got to fight their way out of just a really terrible place?
If I had to choose, last game, if it was Noble's throw more than Simp's win,
Right.
I would say it was Noble's throw more than Simp's win.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that about all the games we've seen so far, at all. But that one, unless I'm missing something in strategy. And honestly, Drynitz, Dodoma, whoever, and if any of you want to argue and clarify what happened there and show me why either Simp took that win flat out, or Dodoma why he didn't shoot down that line, I'm all ears. I'll apologize. Well, I won't apologize for it, but I will explain your stance and I will defend you and point out that I was wrong and you were right. I just want that to make sense, because otherwise,
Just confusing.
Just throw City.
All right. Well, that's good thing to clear up there for the position. So let's see if Noble now, as we have switched sides, David, as you were saying, can continue to maybe get Simp in that position, but this time just capitalize it a little bit better and not throw so hard. All the members of Noble, 7 of them down in the south there, looking at no one on top of the hill.
This.
What is this?
Just this.
Oh, the 3 tanks. Yeah, let's take a look at that on the screen.
I mean, it works when it works. And it really doesn't when it doesn't. That's all. I mean, this is one of those things where if you catch people by surprise, it ruins them. But if you don't, and say you lose a Droxus or Nitz really quickly, then all that happens is this turns into your final resting place. You sit here and you can't get out of it because you're locked down from multiple angles, and all you have to do is push into the weakest point, and there isn't one.
It's over.
So, this may actually work out in the event that Noble attacks west. They can come in pretty hard on a flank and perhaps exploit it, but last time we saw Noble push west, that's what happened to him. It was game over. Slipped right down the 8 line, right in through the back. And there's a couple reasons why that shouldn't happen, and I'm already seeing Noble has learned this lesson, and they're not letting it happen again. Militant is militantly watching the 8 line. Guys, I'll stop. I'll stop with the puns.
That was great. That was really punny.
Puns are designed to hurt. That's the whole point.
Oh, really?
Very punny. Low-hanging fruit, that one. So Marsh moving up the 1-2, getting some basic spotting. Canadian Impact able to move over here. We've discussed this as well before. If a 5100 comes over where Canadian Impact is right now, dead to rights. The only things that can really stop it would be 5100s behind Canadian Impact.
Uh-oh.
Which in this case would be Germ or Kula. But those shots, again, they're blind shots. So you see the guy on map, but he's not rendered. So 5100 going all the way to the red line at A1 can kill Canadian Impact. And Akula couldn't render it, nor could Germ. They could blind fire it. It's just a tricky thing. 8-line presence coming down from Simp.
That's right. IS3s.
Should be Noble's game.
3
They should have studied this. I mean, this is what happened with Game Over. So they should have an answer for this right now, and they should be operating it right now, no hesitation.
Let's see if they do, or if once again they might not have as firm of a grip on this match as they would like. Exos are taking some shots in that IS3 there, going and backing through. And now pressure, looking out, just going for the west, trying to find an overmatch up here. Crimson Corsair against Canadian Impact and IS3 versus a T-37. They got Brodus and Nitz to back him up. The question is, what will happen? Fast cap going through, now 13 seconds. Canadian Impact taking Crimson Corsair down. Adroxus moving in on the presence. A shot going on to Marsh. They're resetting the cap. Adroxus picking that one up. Marsh going down in his AMX-12T. Dodo pushing forward in that 5100. And let's see if Noble continues to find these pickups where they need him. Canadian Impact against Brodus up there in the top. Akula pushing on the side, trying to find maybe Nitz or someone over on the side. Ex-Soldier taking a shot. Damage there, but Canadian Impact does find Brodus. The 5100 now down. Now, let's see how Simp can respond on this Western Cap press. Ex-Soldier, one more shot. He'll go down. The question is, will he? Adroxus. Adroxus picking that one up. Like good IS3, but Germ over in the corner trying to respond by taking down Nitz. Milton is extremely low. He is one shot away. The 5100 on Germ's side has one more shot. He now just has to safely reload. Akula now taking the damage, but doing some damage as well onto Drynitz. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to be worth it. A minute and 54 seconds remain. 5 tanks on the side of Noble against 4 on the side of Simp, but the HP is in favor of Simp here.
Dodoma doing something well here. See if well, he's reloading and he's staying postured on the corner like he isn't reloading, and that can be enough of a psychological edge if Simp doesn't count on those shots. Just see how he's pulling around, just trying to protect bullets in there. Not enough though. He's almost loaded.
That's right. He might go photo finish. That's right. Photo finish. Going down to Dodo, who is now has 5 shots for Drynets. Let's see if he can make them all count. No bounces, please, says Dodo. 2 shots going in. There's a bounce right as we say it. Now here comes the third. Damage going in. Now AMX Gunner having to back out. Canadian Impact getting shot as well. One more shot. We'll go down Overload Prime finding the impact. But Dodo picks up Drynets. Now just 2 tanks remain. A minute left. He is on reload though. Let's see if the rest of Noble can get his back. Overload Prime is extremely low. Maybe a Ram will do it, but I'm not sure. Overload Prime is going to let him get there. Akula is on reload himself. 1 shot going in, tracking him. Dodo is extremely hurt here. Now all 3 members of Noble extremely low. Dodo coming around the corner. He's running in. He's looking for the Ram. He's going to try taking the 5100, but no! Overload Prime shuts him down, and that should be enough for Simp to stay alive long enough to defend this one successfully. Germ and Akula are up. They are ready, but Germ needs to start making the move now, and Overload Prime just needs to run and stay alive. He is turning his tail and heading south.
Too much of a traffic jam.
Let's see, Adrox is getting hit. 660 points of damage. One more shot helping them, but now 21 seconds for Akula and Germ to find this last remaining member of Simp, and he is dust in the wind. He's heading now down further and further into his city, and he is not going to be caught up. Simp picking up another victory, making it now 3-4 here as the clock goes down. Come on, Germ, let a shot fire. No, he's not going to do it. He doesn't find him, and there it is. Simp.
Ooh.
Victory up. 4-3. Simp. Looks like they're coming back.
I mean, they're certainly coming back.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, they're definitely coming back.
Statistics. I don't think we've done it with these guys yet. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Let's
go
do
to
it.
stats.
Let's just do it.
We got to say the magic phrase.
Oh, let's go to stats.
Timeout for Noble.
That is what I would do if I was them as well.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get this one in hand. It was really close. It was really close, and they could have pulled it out. Overlord Prime, not only dancing away magically there at the end, but 11 pens out of 12 shots for 31 hundo. Beastly. Dodoma, 10 hits out of 12 shots. I mean, theoretically, you could be like, well, that 1 missed shot's the difference between winning and losing. But whatever.
Right.
Dodoma doing a pretty good job overall. Head-to-head with that IS-3, he did almost exactly what you need to do. Actually, pretty much exactly what you need to do. Stop putting qualifiers in there. Exactly what you need to do. You just need to not bounce 1 shot.
Yeah.
It's necessarily under his control. Whatever. Stats on everybody else. You see him. Not a whole lot to note. Should actually maybe go into defensive points some other time. But those are, the way the UI is laid out, so tricky to see sometimes. Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
So, he had that head-to-head with the IS-3.
Right.
And he started shooting him in the roof right off the bat. Then the IS-3 had to lift his gun and protect himself, which kind of draws his attention away from the fact because he's looking up in the air.
Oh, okay.
So he can point it up and then right-click to hold it. But either way, he's looking up in the air, gives Dodo the ability to back up and then shoot him in the front. So it's this thing where you make the IS-3 always choose. And he can't chase him out of that gap that he'd in.
Because you get lit up.
Well, he'd get lit up by other people.
Right.
So Dodo winning that battle in a situation that a lot of people would
Whoa.
Timeout.
We have double timeouts
I don't even know
going on
people
here.
can take timeouts in the same break.
Okay.
Logically, it makes sense. I don't see why not.
They just need 1 more to tie it up, and Noble just needs 1 more to finish it for the night.
Yeah, really. Okay, so I found it. Brodus with 52 points of reset, and somebody else got 22. 29 for Drynets. There's all the resets they needed. Marsh moving maybe a little too late. They're already positioning to get that fast cap still going. I was wondering why he was still where he was, because he'd be shot from almost anywhere. And he was. Now there was tanks in the north that they had to worry about, so it's not easy to say that he made a mistake or that he should have moved earlier. Who knows what could have happened.
Right.
Overall, Noble had a lot of advantages there going for him. Whatever their overall response wasn't scripted enough, wasn't played well enough. But what I did notice was Simp was playing their tanks pretty well, and obviously in particular Overlord Prime. Suffering in a couple other matches earlier, making up for all of it right now.
Right now.
I mean,
I'll put the
you
team on my back.
can
this
throw
time.
a couple matches, but if you bring and carry the matches that matter,
That's all that matters.
I wouldn't say it. Yeah. I mean, it's all that matters. It's all that matters. It's weird. It's a weird debate.
Yeah, well, and also kind of now that we got some time, so we haven't really talked about just
We
going.
got time.
We got 2 timeouts worth of time, ladies and gentlemen. Grab some popcorn, fill
No,
up your
don't go
drinks.
anywhere.
Don't go anywhere, but go to battleviewer.com if you are going to go somewhere. But yeah, talking about, I plugged it shamelessly. Talking about the sort of switch ups we have in the rosters. We have 2 roster changes happening this season. We haven't really talked about are you hesitant as a team to like replace someone so far into the season? Because obviously we talk about the cohesion factor that takes place. That takes time.
Yeah, we actually got to touch on this a little bit on Tuesday. And yeah, it's a cohesion factor, but if you know they're immediately going to start, you play with them in pub matches or something, or you've played with them in the past, then just bring them on, no big deal.
Okay.
But it's just switching out a sub for another sub isn't a big deal
not
at
too big.
all.
Okay.
Because you're going to practice with them a lot before you actually put them in the starting roster. So depends on the team. People like Marsh, he got dropped straight in. And who did he take the place of? Commander J. That's who. I didn't expect that.
All right.
Well, maybe I did. But overall, Marsh coming in for Commander J. So there we go. That's a hot swap directly into the driver's seat. I wonder if Jay is watching Marsh and evaluating whether he could be better or worse or how he could help. Some battles we've certainly seen Marsh do well. That last one, debatably poorly. I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the break is now over. Hopefully you're on battleviewer.com because I'm not ashamed of it. Simp versus Noble going in. Noble still one more victory. They'll take it for the night. Simp wanting to tie this one up 4-4. A great comeback from them if they can do it. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Noble, 3 5100s, 3 IS3s, an AMX-12T. For Simp, 2 5100s, 4 IS3s, and a T-37. So the lineups we've seen him be running.
If it ain't
Noble still packing the 350s. I like it. It's vicious. If you can get into the right situation, it's GG. It's just getting into that situation, as we've discussed time in and time out. Hardest part about the 5100.
They're going in through here, looking at the setups. I mean, having such a long break to really go over strategy and find out what you're going to do. I mean, obviously, both teams are putting everything they've got into this match right now. Simp, because they need to tie it up. Noble, because they need to take it. Going through here. I'm interested to see if we will see any sort of, kind of crazy new thing that we haven't seen from both these teams. Obviously, we touched on the fact that they both play very similarly. That's why one of the reasons we thought we wouldn't see Himmelsdorf here. Obviously, Noble maybe regretting if they were the ones to pick that position. All bunched up here, 2 members up on top of the hill, and it looks like the rest going for an 8-line push. But David, the setup of these 2 IS3s in the 5100, if Noble does this, are they going to get punished for it?
They could get very ruined.
Okay.
Doing what they look like they might be doing, yes. This is exactly what Simp wants them to do for the most part. Brodus will show up late. He'll try and counteract, assuming he's used properly. He'll try and shut down Dodoma coming off hill. Nitz is also back there to prevent from things like that happening. But he's just an IS-3. So more likely than not, as soon as this kicks off, he'll move up to join more where Adroxus is. Because what Noble will want to do, this is all assuming they're still coming up the 8 line, is Noble will want to take a left turn right when they see Adroxus, actually right when they see everybody back there, so Photo, Drynitz, Overlord. They'll take a left turn as quickly as possible, leave somebody there to watch that corner, and then they'll just use Courtyard and try and come in through the 5 line and all that, and come in behind Adroxus and get him out that way. So Adroxus is still their weak point, still their linchpin. Brodus could come down to the D line to help with that. He could come to the B line and allow Nitz to move up to support Adroxus.
A lot of stuff.
I could list 4 or 5 different ways that Simp could respond. So one thing worth noting, just got word, if Simp wins this match, they should win the tiebreaker as well. And I'm not talking about the tiebreaker game.
No.
We're talking about the selection of
Right.
the tiebreaker match. So whether they want to be on offense or defense. The tiebreaker map is Ghost Town, and that's going to be important. They certainly have, well, they'll choose defense if they get it. I'll tell you that much.
All right, for certain. So let's see if it will come to that, or if Noble can shut it out right here, right now. Militant moving across, taking it left. David, this is exactly what you said they were going to be doing. They saw Adroxus. They're taking the left. The IS-3. Adroxus taking a shot there through the window. Nothing connecting yet. Canadian Impact getting on top of the rubble there, trying to find a nice little position. So is this kind of exactly what Simp wants them to do? They're walking right into the trap?
No. That would be if they're going up the 8. And I was actually speaking as soon as they
gotcha.
saw Photo finish and the rest of those guys, then they would take a left. So this is actually an early left.
Oh.
In which a way, I don't understand why they did it that way. Why going up the 8 and then across when you could just go along the K and then up the 5. It's going to same positions. Very strange path. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Now, perhaps there are moments or parts of clearing, like they're kind of their whole process that makes that movement important. Wow, struggling to speak right now. But they are again attempting a Western cap. They've drained a lot of time off the clock. I don't know if that was on purpose, or if they were spending time to talk and discuss or talk and draw exactly what they wanted to do, or exactly what's happening here. But we do have a late flank from Dodoma that can make a huge difference in the result from last time.
That's right. Let's see how this develops. Marsh in that 12D is on the cap, putting the pressure on. He is now got, I think, a shot, I believe, from Crimson in that T-37. He dropped to about half health. Let's see the response from Simp. And like Dave, like you were saying, watch everyone, keep your eye on Dodoma on that A line right now in the A8 position coming through. He's going to make or break this fight in that 5100. Depending on how much damage he can do here. And the rest of Simp pushing through. Let's say over the prime and the gang on the side of Simp going down the 8 line. Oh, the cap pressure going on there. So Dota really revealing himself.
Yep.
Going the way through. Now, is that something that could have been avoided?
Could have been avoided, but it would have added its own risks. The path he's taking, I don't know. The best thing to do may have been just to wait and see exactly where they made contact and come down on the 8 line from behind. But it looks like they're actually isolating Drynitz, which is going to be just as good. He's mostly by himself. They do have support in the 3 line. This could be a huge pickup for Noble and exactly what they need.
Well, here we go. There goes some shots going out there. Now Drynitz about half health in that IS3. Dodo still continuing that pressure. 14 seconds on the cap as they put 2 members on. Akula coming in to take Crimson Corsair down, but from the back, Drynitz picking up Marsh. And now Akula getting extremely loaded. He'll go down that 5100 from the back. Brodus responsible for that death. And now Drynitz going down. Dodoma gonna pick that one up, and Germ continuing to push on the way through. 5 tanks for the side of Noble, 5 tanks for the side of Simp. But the HP is heavily in Simp's favor. Over 2,900 now, 2,500 at this point here. Brodus is on the reload. Let's see how Noble can take advantage of this, or if they're just too far back to really do anything. Over on the side, Canadian Impact taking a bit of damage there. We got photo finish on the shoot. Overload Prime, Nits coming through. Overload's got 3 shots in that AMX 5100. Ex-Soldier, gotta be careful where he's at. Militant and Dodo coming in the corner. Dodo almost reloaded. Germ coming on the side. He's gonna try to find Brodus, but he won't. I don't think he'll have enough damage unless Militant can turn as well. There goes a shot going in there from Germ any minute now. No, he's actually kind of going back and forth. He Brodus in a good little position to hide from there. Nits taking a shot into Militant. And Adraxis finding Canadian Impact. Simp looks like they're going to do it. It looks like they're going to tie this one up. If everything continues to go in their favor, Brodus getting lit up here. Dodo turning his turret. Dodo finding Brodus now. It is a 4-on-4. The health, though, still about over 2,000 in favor of Simp. Overload Prime coming around the corner. Has 3 shots. 1 going into Militant. That picks him up. The other should go into Dodo there. No, Adraxis is going to pick that one up. 2 tanks remain for the side of Noble. 4 for the side of Simp. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to go into our first tiebreaker of this week. Ex-Soldier finds Overload Prime. Adraxis picking up Ex-Soldier, and now it is just Germ in that 5100. 13 seconds remaining on the clock here. 436 on the clock for his reload. He is on offense. He has nowhere to go. Adraxis lining up a shot, poking through 406 damage. Photo finish, finishing that one off. And ladies and gentlemen, Simp tying it up, coming back, winning 3 in a row against Noble. 4-4 as we go into Ghost Town, where, as we were saying, Simp has won the tiebreaker, so they do get to choose whether they want to be on attack or defense.
Yes, indeed, they do. We can go to statistics to kind of parse a little bit about what happened there. Strategically, Noble, not great, not terrible. They had some moments they could take advantage of, but I need to see exactly why.
Okay.
Dodoma got in a good amount of shots, 2,100. Canadian Impact, 5 as well. Here's your problem. 2 5100s just not really in it. Would have been better to bring an IS-3 in place of one of those if that's what's going to happen, but you can't tell the future. So.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Brodus,
A lamp apparently
perfect 9. Adraxis, 8 penetrations. Nits, just absolutely beastly from these guys. Drynitz and Overlord, 2 of the people that had to do the 8-line flank, got shut down pretty hard. But overall, Noble just, their 2 5100s not getting in as much damage hurt them far more than Simp's. Perhaps, I guess, lackluster performance by one of their 5100s. And an IS-3 got roughly what you would expect of the whole situation.
Okay.
Just, I don't know. I don't know why Noble took so much damage and got so little out of their 5100s, considering the overall positions of the tier 8s. I was busy watching Dodoma, who bounced 2 on Drynets. I believe it was Drynets. But other than that, did fine.
Right.
So it seemed like they had all the different puzzle pieces of the puzzle to get things done. You were asking if it was worth it to drive through Cap earlier.
Yeah.
Like I said, debatable. He could have come down the 8 line.
Yeah, you were right.
Simp chooses defend.
There we go.
Just got the word. It's not rocket science. You choose. If you want to choose defense,
Right,
on
it's
tiebreaker for the most
technically
part,
on your
unless
side.
you're, especially on a map like Ghost Town, where you can reset fairly easily. We'll see if they do the same thing they've been doing. Which last time was a 2801 in the A1 position for resets, which I believe has 40-something shots, 48
Which will be
maybe,
more than a
as
Hellcat.
opposed to 30 on the Hellcat that they used. So should be enough.
Yeah.
Also give Crimson the ability to shoot all the time because he likes to do that.
He'll
instead
like
of
to do
holding the
that.
shots.
That would be so good for him.
I don't know which one's better. Hellcat's more accurate. Whatever. Semantics. Depends on what you want. So the big question here is, can Noble cap? Can Noble assault this defensive formation and pull it out? I have to see exactly what they bring to make a ruling on that first. But
Sure.
This is not a good situation to be in at all. Obviously, a tiebreaker is no bueno. And unfortunately for Simp, even if they win this, what they needed to tie Noble was a full 3 points.
Really, and they're not going to get it.
No, and not only can they only get 2, but they would also give Noble 1 point even if they
For
won,
losing.
which makes still puts them down by 2 points overall.
Oh,
so,
no. So man, tonight that's kind of been the theme. We have hashtag Are You
Yeah.
Going Down to Lamp, and now we've got Simp, now going to a tiebreaker against Refuse. So again, these standings, as we've been seeing, still so late in the season, can continue to get switched up. But ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, Noble versus Simp on to Ghost Town, all tied up 4-4. Simp has chosen defense. Let's see if it works out to him. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
I wonder how many people in fantasy started breathing a sigh of relief when Himmelsdorf came around and it started tying up, because I bet a ton of people put like 4 bets on this match
No,
going along.
I am one of those people. I have 4 tanks, 2 for Simp, 2
All right.
for Noble.
All right. 3 IS-3s, 3 5100s, 2 IS-3s, a T-32 and an AMX-12T for Noble. Simp, 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, a T-32, a T-54 lightweight, and a VK-2801. So, we know what Simp's going to do. We should know what Simp's going to do. Do we know what Noble's going to do? Looks like they're biasing themselves towards the north. It's the better cap overall, but it also looks like they're splitting in a way where they can operate both caps or rotate between the two. So this is perhaps a holding pattern while they do some exploring so they can make a decision about what they want to do.
There we go. Photo finish. Dryden and Nits all looked like they were going to continue to push north further, but the moment Germ got onto cap, they decided to back off here. So let's see if maybe a little plan that Simp had wasn't going to work out from that early center pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Germ, that AMX-12T on the center cap, number 2. 78 seconds now going through some shots firing, nothing connecting yet on both sides. Shot going out from Overload Prime in that T-54 lightweight, and now trying to move around the corner.
Blue Street.
And that IS-3. Nice little position there for Germ.
We talked about this a while ago. If you perform this cap and you hold down the only angles in which Simp has to come defend, you effectively know exactly where they're going to go, right? It's obviously not on the eastern 2,
Right,
because you have that under control. So if you can set a trap, knowing full well where those people are going to go and how you want to move, it's a very powerful offense, something we haven't seen done right yet. So perhaps Noble has it figured out. Perhaps Noble can take it home. We all know they need to.
That's right, and also, I mean, just losing 3 games in a row, this would be exactly just a sigh of relief they need for their team, because they've got to be maybe a little bit on tilt here, as Simp has been on a hot streak. But Simp's still not out of this yet. A shot going into Nits, though, in that IS-3, 286 points of damage. And look at this, cannot find angle fire. There it is, Nits finding that angle, taking a huge chunk of damage into Germ, finding that reset. Now they know where he's at. Now the shots are going to be flying through there for Simp. Noble does have the HP lead there. 8,996.
Has such an opening, and I thought this is what they were setting up for. If they took a Militant, a Kula, and the other 5100, their ex-soldier, there was a moment, there was a period of time where they knew exactly where this group, Photo, Nits, and Crimson were. They could have driven right around the corner and lit up all 3 of them with 3 tanks in hand, and it would have been easy. But They looks like they've talked themselves out of it and they're working something else. Certainly not over for them, as they do have an HP lead and they do have some positional advantage. They do still have Germ on cap. They did make Nits pay way too much for that reset. Just don't know if they can actually close this out or not, because they keep giving up great traps.
All right, well, let's see if when they go back and watch this, hopefully they don't have to beat themselves up, because hopefully they can find these victories for their sake. X-Soldier in that 5100 now moving into position, making sure Photo Finish and Crimson can't pop out and take those shots. Crimson repositioning now. Photo taking the first shot, and X-Soldier are going to continue to find some pressure. A shot actually bouncing on that T-32. Now he has to back off here as he's getting flanked by Crimson. He has to turn his turret around quicker. He's going to find some damage there. Crimson lined the shot up. 348 going to the back of it, but the response, half health of that VK 2801 here. But cap pressure is being applied. It is now down to 11 seconds. Germ and Canadian Impact the cap fast. Let's see if Sim can find a place to reset this. Now down to 6 seconds. Going to the side of Brock is finding Doodle, but this picking up a Germ. Canadian Impact finding his response. The cap pressure has been reset, and the fight has exploded. Damage going out from all the side. Brodus fighting Akula. X-Soldier now fighting against the Photo Finish, but Photo Finish taking this one down. Simp continually fighting the pickups where they need him. Dodo not in the best position here. Drynet's going to pick this one up, and it looks like Simp might take this one. An amazing 4-game deficit coming out for this team. Defensive on Ghost Town might be the perfect response for them. Crimson taking a shot in the Milton. 76 Milton fighting Crimson Corsair. It is a 3v5 though, and that doesn't look like there's much that Noble can do to respond to this. Adroxus is on the reload in that 5100, but Trident's picking up Canadian Impact, continuing to nail that in the coffin. Milton chasing around Photo Finish. Marsh does find Drynets. Milton coming in the corner. His shot's almost up. Photo Finish was first. He's getting ready to unload that onto Milton. Milton's shot is up, but the bounce on the T-32, again, not something you need. Marsh trying to chase over the prime off. 2 minutes and 41 seconds. 1,800 health against 1,600, but that 1,800 inside of Sim is spread across 4 tanks. That's 2 more guns that Sim has against Noble. Marsh popping out, taking some damage, and Photo Finish and Milton still fighting it out here. Milton will have his shot up. Let's see if he can finally take on Photo Finish. There it is, but it might have been just too late. Marsh one more shot away. He's down to 37 health. Brodus is going to pick it up. Simp with the victory, claiming this one. Now 5-4 as Milton is the last one against Noble. There's nothing he can do. 1 shot, 2 shot. He is down. There it is. Simp, 4 victories in a row there. A fantastic pickup, a fantastic turn of events for that team. Man, David, poor Noble.
Poor Noble indeed, but they did it to themselves. They had they took a perfect trap and turned it into an awful trap, trying to take those 2 5100s down in the southwest to capture the IS-3s that are poking up. All that pokes up there is the turret. It's a great place for an IS-3. Meanwhile, the other side, they had to be completely flat on top to even fire. It's taking a perfect situation and turning it into a terrible one. Crimson Corsair getting 3 shots into a 5100 for a grand total of 779, doing quite a bit to X-Soldier. Wow. X-Soldier in that position still cleaned up like a tank and a half. It's just painful, but this is one, and I'm sure Noble's not going to be happy with me pointing this out. This is one in a long series of Noble struggling to last minute try and beat Simp and coming up short.
Well, there we go. But congratulations to Simp for that amazing victory. 5-4 for that tiebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys missed anything from the matches, let's take a look quickly back at what you guys might have missed. Up first, we had High Voltage beating Synergy 5-3, followed by Refuse clean sweeping game over 5-0. Next was Lamp beating #RU 5-1. And finally, what you guys just saw, Simp beating Noble in that tiebreaker 5-4. David, out of the matches that we saw tonight, what was the highlight for you?
Honestly, the High Voltage and Synergy matches were awesome.
Okay.
I really liked those.
No, great. I mean, they were so fun to watch, so fast-paced. Everything was happening at such a quick rate, and it was definitely enjoyable. For me, it would have to be just the psychic prowess coming out for Lamp there.
That was great, too.
That was so fun to watch. I mean, I can't wait to kind of maybe go back and see how they actually did that. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our 4 matches of the night. As always, follow us on Twitter and Facebook /WGNA. Guys, thank you for watching on BattleViewer.com. How awesome was that? Also, tune in Tuesday, August 4th for our next 4 matches. Again, explosive ones into Week 7. Up first is Elevate versus Rival, followed by Maple Freedom versus High Voltage. Third is going to be 07 versus Game Over. And finally, Synergy versus Lamp. Again, as you guys saw tonight, anything can happen here. I guarantee you we're going to still see these switch-ups happening on top of the standings. But you guys have a weekend to think about and process that. On behalf of everyone here at the WGLNA, that has been David Williams. I am Christian Toma, and as always, thanks for stopping by.